Hi everyone, I'm Tanaaz from foreverconscious.com and this is your weekly energy forecast for the week of December 18th. So on December 21st, we have the solstice and the sun also shifts into the sign of Capricorn. So the solstice is really a celebration of the sun, of the light. In the northern hemisphere, we have the shortest day of the year, so we're celebrating the return to the light. And in the southern hemisphere, we have the longest day of the year, so we're celebrating being in the fullness of the light. So the sun in astrology represents the core of who we are, our inner light, our inner flame, our inner purpose, that unique spark that, only we hold, that only we possess. So it really is an awesome time to connect with your inner self, with your spark, with that light that lives within. Has it been dimmed? Has it been busy? Can you connect with your inner light and bring it to the surface, bring it up and out of your eyes, into your face, into your, they say the eyes are the window to the soul. Can you bring that light and, imagine it, beaming out of your eyes, drawing you to look at what is most aligned with your purpose, drawing you to look at what is, vibrating at your frequency level. So really trying to connect with that inner light. You'll be very supported by the cosmic energies when you connect with your own inner flame and that feeling of who am I? What's important to me? Who am I at my core? The solstice is also a time where the energy grid of the planet moves into alignment. So we have wonderful healing energy, high vibrational energy beaming from planet Earth. So if you want to soak that up, if you want to bathe in that beautiful high frequency energy, spending time outside, even though I know for some of you it might be cold, snowing, other people it might be really hot, but just seeing if you can find ways to connect with nature. Even bringing nature into your home can help you absorb some of that healing energies. Also, on a couple of days after this solstice, we have a new moon, Capricorn new moon on the 23rd. These couple of new moons are really special. They all fall at 1 degree of their respective zodiac signs. So it happened last month in November. Now again in December, we have another new moon falling at 1 degree. So this is 1 degree of Capricorn. One is in astrology is a very karmic degree. It indicates new chapters, new beginnings, which feels to be a little bit strange with this new moon because we have a lot of retrograde energy. And retrograde energy is usually about going back, looking over the past, really not starting new chapters, not doing anything new. It's kind of like revisiting the past because there's wisdom for us there. So it'll kind of be interesting to see how that dynamic plays out. Maybe you'll feel a sense of a new chapter coming, but maybe you're kind of working on building that foundation first. Maybe there are things that still need to be addressed and cleared up from the past. Or maybe your past has some wisdom for you about how you can proceed with this new beginning. So that energy might feel a little strange under that new moon. This new moon also carries, if I could sort of pinpoint one energy or to describe this new moon, it would be healing. There is beautiful healing energy around this new moon, and that is because Chiron, the asteroid associated with healing, it's known as the wounded healer, stations direct on this day as well. So this healing energy is actually more about healing through radical self-acceptance. It's sort of like accepting your wounds, accepting your traumas, accepting that some wounds cut too deep to ever be resolved. There are some things that happen to us, some traumas that we go through, some experiences that we go through that will never really leave us. They'll always hurt. They'll always be a gaping wound in our heart. And that is Chiron's message. And Chiron says, you know what, that is okay. But instead of making these wounds become something that hold you back, You can use them in order to fuel a beautiful life for yourself. You can channel them into portals of wisdom and intuition and compassion and healing and purpose and motivation. You can use those wounds to help you access your own inner healer. And in this case, accessing your own inner healer is more about accessing your potential, your innate talents, your innate gifts, whatever that might be. Because when you do that, it's healing. If you're, artwork, want to be an actor, when you tap into that, that core, and you do what your soul is here to do, that becomes healing no matter what it is you're doing. You could be doing someone's tax return, and there's a healing energy that can come from it. So that is what this new moon is encouraging us to do. It's encouraging us to tap into our unique gifts and talents, to recognize them, to honor them, to sort of connect with that purpose, that core of who we are, and use that. Go out into the world with that in the forefront of our being. And then it's also guiding us to heal. So if we have wounds, if we have something physical, an illness, disease that has come up for us, there is beautiful healing energy to channel and tap into under this new moon. So I have a ritual. You can find that at foreverconscious.com. It is helping you to tap into that beautiful healing energy, and it includes an angel healing meditation where you can call in your spirit guides, your higher self, angels, God, whatever you want to call it, and access the healing energy from those higher powers as well. So check that out if you're interested. It's a great ritual for the new moon, but it's also just a great ritual to do anytime you need healing, or as we wrap up the end of the year. So as I mentioned, as we wrap up 2022, we have a lot of retrograde energy. Mars is retrograde, and Mercury is going to station retrograde on the 29th. So that'll be next week. So as you know, sometimes when we have, well, not sometimes, all the time, before a planet stations retrograde, it already begins to slow down. So we're already in that phase where Mercury is in the shadow phase. It's called preparing for that retrograde, preparing to join Mars. And I've said this before, but if you're new here or you haven't heard me say it, planets closest to the sun, we're always going to feel their retrograde more strongly. So with both Mercury and Mars, both very close to the sun, we're going to feel this retrograde energy strongly. We might feel a little sluggish. We might feel a little bit like we're making a lot of mistakes. We may feel like one step forward, two steps back. If that comes up for you, Mars and Mercury are not trying to ruin your life, they're getting you to slow down. So if you are making mistakes, if you are racing forward and then having to walk it all back, it's a sign from the universe that you need to slow down, to pause, reflect. That idea of going back to the past, because there is wisdom there for you, comes up. So pay attention to that. And if you are traveling around this time of year and you're met with some delays or whatever it is, know that you're always where you need to be. So try to hold on to that. Try to be the force of calm around the holiday season. See if you can, be that force of calm, because I know for a lot of you watching this, it is a very busy and sometimes stressful, maybe lonely, maybe, on the opposite end of that, you're dealing with family members that you don't really want to deal with. It can be a very stressful time. So just trying to be that force of calm and stillness, and making time for yourself, taking time out away from any obligations that you might have, taking time out for you to get still, to be in your stillness, to find that pause. That is really going to help you as we move through these final weeks of 2022. So I will be back next week. That will be your last forecast for next week, because I want to talk about more of what's coming up, because 2023 is a really big year. We have 3 planets changing signs very early on in the year. I'll talk more about that next week. Otherwise, it gets too long. Okay, couple of other things. Thank you all so much To those of you who entered the moon calendar competition, I have announced the winners. I've replied to you in the comments and left some instructions, so go check that out if you entered. And if you would like a moon calendar, let me reach it over here. I still have some available, almost sold out. So if you're interested, the link is in the description box. Go ahead and get yourself one of these. They're probably not going to arrive in time for Christmas Day if you're looking for that, but you'll definitely, if you're in the US, get them before the end of the year if you ordered today. Although I shouldn't really guarantee when it comes to shipping, but it should be pretty safe. Okay. All right, everybody. I hope you all have a wonderful week. If you are traveling, if you are celebrating the holidays, I wish you all the best. I will be back next week though, so look out for that because we'll be sharing about 2023 next week and as we wrap up the year. I'm Tanaaz from Forever Conscious. Thank you so much.